This video will demonstrate how to change the software view to show the various functions of the system. Different views show different data on your home screen. To get started, we will need to click this blue button right here next to the eye symbol. What it is currently telling us is that the current view is on the software default, focusing on issues. We can see that on this view, the landing page currently shows the risk rating colors, the title of the issue, whether it's a SheQ form or checklist, who the investigator is, which base it's located at, and the date it was reported and who it was reported by. Let's have a go at looking at the different views that we can change it to. When we click this blue button, we can now see a table of view selections. As you can see in the list, views can be focused on issues, actions, or checklists. We will look at the features of each later. A view with a red heart symbol like this means that it is a system default view, and this is defined by your system admin. As we're currently logged on into an admin account, you can see that I can edit the default system view by clicking on the one that I prefer and pressing apply. In the second column, you can see who the author is or who created these different views. The third column shows that views are also catered for different screen types. The first being for small handheld devices like your phone, the second for tablets and smaller laptops, and the third being for wider and larger screens like televisions. The next column enables admins to publicly share the views to the users on the software if required. If an admin user wants to set this view so that only they can see it, all they'd have to do is deselect the checkbox on the selected view, then click Apply. On this column, we can edit a particular view setting by clicking on the orange pencil symbol right here. Again, we will look at the features of this later. The last column enables you to change and switch between views. To switch to a different view, simply select your desired view like this and press Apply. Now let's try putting this into practice in a user account with lower level access. This is what the view settings look like for users who are not set as admins. As you can see, the options are a bit more limited, but you can change the views nonetheless. Earlier, we were set on the software default view, and it was focused on issues, catered for medium-sized screens. Let's try selecting the software default catered for smaller screens. As you can see, the home screen table is narrower to fit smaller screens and shows less information compared to the medium screen setting. Now, if we were to change this back and select the software default for larger screens, you can see that the table is wider and is capable of showing more detailed information such as event descriptions. Now let's try going to a view that is made for different functions. I'm going to select the risk register view, which is still focused on issues. As you can see, we are now presented with a different set of data. We can now see the reference number of each entry, what the category of the entry is. So for example, we have hazard report entries, incident/accident occurrences, and we can even see the event description to get a better idea of what's happened. It also shows the original and revised risk. But it also details what actions were put into place and a finding summary. Unlike before where it gave a more generic view, this view is perfect for overlooking entries or reports that have a bit more detail involved. Now let's have a look to see what happens when we select a view that's focused on actions. Let's apply this first one here. This view details all actions set in forms and checklists in the software. For example, here we have a Hangar 1 audit task and checklist assigned for John Smith. And just below it, we can also see that Robert Brown has been assigned to perform an SMS gap analysis as part of an SMS Management of Change project. In this view, we can see the category of the task, and the next column shows us how distant the due date is for each action or task. If we select a checklist task like this one, and click the checklist icon, we can see what these colors mean. So for instance, red means that it's overdue, orange means that it's due within 15 days, and so on. Here we can also see the event description for each event or checklist for context, the cause and description of the task if relevant, who it's assigned to, any comments for each particular task, when this task was raised, when it's due by, the status of whether it's been started or completed, and the ID of each task. Views focused on actions are therefore great for checking if any tasks have been assigned to you. You can even filter out the tasks by selecting one of these options here. If you want to see tasks that are assigned directly for you, then all you have to do is select Me. and it shows the actions you've completed or are in progress. You can even filter it out further to see tasks where you've been assigned an investigator, a reporter, or a team member. Alternatively, you can also filter out the tasks that have been assigned to your group by clicking My Group.